already know how Bandit and Chili met. But have you ever wondered who Bluey's husband might be? In the last episode of Season 3, we learned that Bluey had a baby sometime in the future. It's a very short scene at the end of the episode, where we see an adult Bluey visiting her now older parents. We know Bingo is also there because Chili mentions her to Bluey, but we don't actually see her, and we don't know if she has a child or not. The most important part, though, is about this child that appears at the end of the episode, playing the same game Bluey once did in the past. The main story of that very episode. Who is this child's father? Is he really Bluey's child? Couldn't he actually be Bingo's child, who was already at the house before? Here at the channel, we have some theories worth exploring, and we want to see if you agree with them. You know what time it is. Grab your notebook, and let's dive deep into Bluey's series to figure out who this child is and who their parents might be, here on Zigzag Channel. The first theory is the easiest to cross off the list. From the very start, one of the most noticeable things about this show is that kids look a lot like their parents, if not identical. For example, the terriers are, well, 3 terriers, just like their terrier mom. Winton's son is practically a miniature version of him. The same goes for Snickers, Judo. You get the point. Bluey and Bingo are the same way. Bluey has her father Bandit's fur pattern, and Bingo has her mother Chili's. So, it's pretty clear that you can tell right away who belongs to which family, right? That's why the theory that this mystery child in the surprise episode is Bingo's doesn't make much sense because he doesn't resemble her at all. Could the baby have taken after his father, just as Bluey took after Bandit? Sure. But if that's the case, then who's the dad? Who are Bingo's close guy friends who might give us some clues to form theories? I can't think of anyone, as we mostly see Bluey interacting with others since she's the main character. Can you imagine who might be Bingo's future husband? So comment below who you think it might be and use the hashtag bingo to give your answer. Now, this one makes a bit more sense. Check it out. When you look at the baby about to corner Bandit with the tennis ball launcher, we can see he resembles Bluey a bit with his blue fur. Although it's a darker shade of blue, but still blue, right? That suggests he's Bluey's child since she's also blue. So one theory is that this baby is Bluey's child with another character who has a darker blue fur tone, like this child's. Can you guess who? Yes! We're talking about Jean-Luc. Remember? The French boy she meets in the episode where they build a fort in silence. Despite not understanding each other, they spend several days together, playing by making an improvised cabin with sticks and leaves, and trying to communicate by drawing on rocks to plan how to catch a wild boar. Which, of course, was poor Bandit, as usual. But eventually, they have to say goodbye, and Jean-Luc leaves without Bluey realizing that their first hug was also their last. And remember how sad Bluey was? After all, she lost a friend. But Chili teaches her that sometimes the memories we make with those who come and go quickly in our lives are the moments we should hold on to forever. Then, at the end of the episode, we have a surprise. There's a time jump, and now Bluey is a teenager, reading a book under the tree she planted with Jean-Luc when she was a child. And who shows up right before the episode ends? That's right, Jean-Luc. And now he speaks English. So it's not too hard to imagine that Bluey stayed in his mind just as he stayed in hers, because they shared that brief friendship in those days. I bet he was excited to return to Australia and reunite with the friend he made years ago in his childhood. Who knows? Maybe his family moved from France to Australia and they're no longer just visiting. What if that reconnection turned into a stronger friendship? Could that friendship have turned into romance? Can you see how this theory could make sense? I think it's quite possible that the baby at the end of the surprise episode is Bluey and Jean-Luc's child. If you think so too, click the subscribe button. If you don't agree, subscribe anyway. Don't forget to activate the bell icon too. This answer might be a bit obvious, don't you think? The strongest theory about who Bluey's future husband could be is Mackenzie. Mackenzie is one of Bluey's closest guy friends, and he appears in several episodes. We can see how well they get along whenever he's on screen. And what strengthens this theory even more is the appearance of Bluey's child. The droopy ear, the fur pattern. It all seems like a mix of Bluey and Mackenzie. Of course, the darker fur color points to Jean-Luc, who has that same dark blue tone. But if we're looking at Mackenzie, this darker fur on the baby could be because Bluey's blue mixed with Mackenzie's black. And when you mix blue with black, you get a darker blue. Ever thought of that? We know that Bluey isn't afraid to address more serious, even adult topics. We've mentioned this in a previous video, bringing up moments like Brandy's sadness over not being able to have children, and the fact that Bluey and Bingo are rainbow babies, a term for children born after a pregnancy loss. So, it's not too far-fetched to imagine Bluey growing up to be a single mom. In this episode's ending, we only see Bluey arriving at her parents' house with her child. But where's her husband? Did he simply stay home while Bluey took the child to see their grandparents? Or maybe he's no longer part of their lives. Perhaps they separated, or the father passed away, or he's taking care of another child we haven't met yet. Wow, there are so many possibilities that it's making my head spin. And any of these ideas would definitely be handled with the care and sensitivity that Bluey always brings to its themes. After all, the Ludo Studios know exactly what they're doing, and we've learned that they aren't afraid to explore these more serious topics, even though it's a children's show. And those were 4 amazing theories about Bluey. What do you think? Are you Team Mackenzie or Team Jean-Luc? Let us know in the comments below. While we wait for the answer, we've prepared more Bluey videos for you to keep enjoying with us, and we've selected 2 of the best ones for you to watch next. Just click on the one you like the most and watch. So, that's it. See you there. Bye.